Good morning and welcome to the Japan Expert Insights podcast this morning on Wednesday, September the 17th, 2025. It's a pleasure to have you with us all, to be here, of course, once again, and to present to you an episode which is titled The Experience and Game That Teach Us to Co-Create. And the person who came up with this idea is Kanako Horii, who is a very special guest of ours because we have already talked with her for quite a while. And well, I'm personally very happy to welcome Kanako today. So, Kanako, thank you very much for coming and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. My name is Kanako, and I am a commercial banker in Chicago. And at the
Woohoo!
same time, I am the card game creator. So my career started as a management consultant in Japan, American company Japan, and
Mm-hmm.
I transferred to a Japanese consulting firm, U.S. subsidiary. And then I found a position in American Bank, Japanese banking division.
Right. So it's not very often that it happens. And of course, there are people, there are Japanese business analysts and consultants that move to the United States because their companies decide that they will be valuable assets in their American offices. But how about you? Was it by your own will, or was that the company that sent you to the United States?
Yes, that's my will. And
Okay.
yeah, um, when I was a child, I wanted to be an astronaut.
Hmm.
It's a coincidence in I wanted to be an astronaut. So we
Right. Yes, me
had
too.
a dream when we were kids. And I learned how to be an astronaut. I had to graduate from university science major, and there are some um, criteria around it. And I learned how American organization works. They have specialty, and astronaut is the only one who knows everything. So yeah, and when I graduate from so I majored physics because I had to major science to become an astronaut. And then before graduation, I had to think about what kind of job I have to take. And there was Accenture, which is a big American consulting firm, and they, if I joined there, I could have a global project. So combine the team from Accenture members from different regions, different countries. So that sounds like an Accenture astronaut. So I took the job.
Right. Yes.
And during my work at Accenture, I could join a global project from day one after the training, and that was fun. So it yeah, I the experience in Accenture was so wonderful. So I stayed there over 10 years. Yeah, yes. And but since Accenture have employees everywhere in the world, so I didn't have an opportunity to move to the other country. So sadly, I left Accenture to go to US.
Okay, forgive me for this. Okay, and so you went to the US, but before that, before you tell us about the US, could you just tell me whether you grew up in Japan or in the US?
Oh, I was born in US and I almost forgot about it because I stayed there only 10 months. So there are my baby photos took in Chicago. So there was no option for me to not to speak English, not to learn English. So I learned a little bit, but I never had a chance to learn from overseas.
Right. Yes. I think that this is another point that we share because when I learned English, English is not my native language, of course. So when I learned English, I learned it back home in Bulgaria, and I never actually went out of the country to study it. So I only went on exchange student programs after I became able to speak it. So it's interesting to find another person because many people believe that you can only learn a language if you go to the country where that language is spoken as a native language. But that's
Mhm.
not the case. So
Yeah.
there are quite a few examples when that's possible in your native country, right?
Yes. When I was 18, I had a homestay trip to California, and
Mm-hmm.
my host family was from Mexico. They were really nice. And I learned how people move to US. And they said, since I was born in US, they said you have an opportunity for multiple times. And I never think that way because I almost forgot I was born in US. So yeah, since then, somewhere inside of my brain believes I have opportunity.
Yeah, I wish more people were like you, that we believe that there is an opportunity somewhere and always, right?
Mhm.
Because opportunities are everywhere. I believe that it's our ability to notice them, to spot them, and to take advantage, move forward, and in the direction of, well, taking those opportunities.
Mhm.
Yeah, but well, all right. So, and then now moving once again back to the future, you said that you went to the United States, right?
Mhm.
And well, what happened there? Because I know that you have had a journey, and
Mhm.
that journey has been a fascinating one for me. And I hope that you can share it with the people who are watching the podcast at the moment, or maybe later.
All right. Um, so I was a Japanese expat from Japanese consulting firm, and I took the job because I they said they sent me to Chicago. So, be, with the support from the company, the journey started smoothly. But I, I don't. I had a driver's license in Japan, but I never drove after I took the driver's license.
Mhm.
So, driving was the first challenge to me.
Right. And also, I think that in the United States, they drive on the other side of the road, which is an additional layer to that challenge.
I'm not that level. I I even that was not my issue because I have
Uh-huh.
no driving experience.
Okay.
So that
Except
was
for the
really
test.
scared. And
Right.
I'm responsible for my family because of me it was a turning point to them.
Mm.
But because my driving skill is horrible, I could kill them. So that was the first challenge. And yeah, I can say the people who want the career in foreign countries, um, the first challenge is not the job, not the work, maybe the life.
Right. So I think I remember also when I and my husband moved to Sapporo, from Tokyo to Sapporo. The biggest challenge for me was to find my way around in the first 1 month. And when I say find my way around, it was about not just shopping, but also getting a clear map in my head of the city, and also finding opportunities for a job there, because my husband went there
Mm.
because of his work, right? So he went there, and from day one, he was in the office. But I was there without anything to do. Of
Mhm.
course, the moving stuff and unpacking of all the belongings and so on, that was there on me. But at the same time, I had to find another job, right? And I imagine that maybe your family is in a similar situation, because well, it's really difficult to be planted into an entirely new environment where
Yeah.
you have to find what to do.
Yeah. Yes. Especially move with family could be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But I choose to, yeah, move to the other country after building certain level of my career.
Right.
So sometimes it's good, but sometimes I feel um, my flexibility getting lower.
How is that?
You
It's,
know,
yeah,
if I
it's
move,
fascinating. Yeah. Okay.
if I move in my 20s, there's nothing to lose,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, and just building a career almost from scratch. But if people move in their 30s or 40s, they have to throw away the career in Japan and yeah, taking the risk and
Mm-hmm.
even risking the family as well, or the parents may need help in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, has to stay closer. So there might be a much more complicated decision making process will be there.
Right. Because it's always difficult to imagine something which you have never been through, right?
Mhm.
Because you can think, yes, I have the knowledge, I have the experience to deal with anything that comes my way. And that confidence is very important for anybody who moves across borders, I believe, or to a new environment, even within the same country. But once you're there, you encounter a lot of things that you never thought existed, and a lot of challenges and issues
Mhm.
which you never thought would come your way, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can relate to that. And but also, I believe that when we are put in a situation where we have to deal with something we never expected, that's when we actually once again build our flexibility, and we find ways to deal with those challenges, right? So
Right.
because I can see you are thriving there now,
Mhm.
and it's been just what, 1 year and a half or close to
Yes.
2 years, just 1 year and a half. Wow, that's a lot of, that's a very, very solid adaptability.
Yes, I changed my job. But
Hmm.
the good thing to move after building certain career is that I have a kind of identity. I've been working for a management consulting firm for over 10 years.
Hmm.
Or if people have family or kids, they learn faster if they teach me, you know?
Right, yeah.
So there's always pros and cons for all the decision making process. But just do it and enjoy it. And now is my
Right.
turn to say you have opportunities.
I love that. Yes. Thank you for saying it. You have opportunities, yes. And sometimes those opportunities are not visible immediately, right?
Hmm.
But if you look better, if you look deeper, then you find them inevitably, which is also great.
Yes. And I
Yes.
tried to say to my son, you have opportunities. And he said, Mom, opportunities. Corrected pronunciation. So
Right.
I'm learning from my family and colleague
Hmm.
and store stuff in Target or Felix. So
Right.
every day is learning. So it's good.
Well, Well, I love that perspective because when you have an open mind, you do learn.
Mm,
And sometimes, if you get stuck, and inevitably we get stuck from time to time, right? And we
mhm.
don't see the positives around us, we don't see the advantages of the situation we are in. And when that happens, it's really depressing. So,
Mm,
but I also believe that if you are intentional, in keeping your mind open, right, and seeing everything as a learning opportunity, chances of getting into, you know, let's say stuck periods are much, much less. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But I have bad days,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. And losing my confidence affect my English pronunciation and English intonation, and it becomes making my voice smaller. And people ask again, and that take my extra confidence again. So it become a bad day. It happens.
Right. Yes.
That's
What do
okay.
you do? Okay, what do you do in such cases? How do you get out of that, well, let's say, feeling of being, in a bad situation? What
Mm,
helps you get out of it?
I believe it is the first world problem. And yeah, I have an opportunity to work with Indian consulting firm with the
Mm-hmm.
same project. And they have community and they have a lot of people here. So the client hire closer culture consultants so they can get job easily. And if their English pronunciation is easy to hear or not, or they are saying something logically correct or not, they have community, they have power. But as Japanese, we have smaller land and small group in US, so um, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard. So if you have a lot of people here and a lot of power here,
Mm-hmm.
whatever we do is correct.
Right.
So I believe that way. So if I survive, thrive here, and saying here's the opportunity, and people from Japan comes and build the huge community, then we can live much easier.
Mm-hmm. Right. And when you say we can live much easier if people from Japan go to the United States and form a sizable community there, why do you think that it will be easier to live there?
It's been said. I saw a BBC or a news said even a small children they have no language issue. They're just starting speaking language, but put them in a same class. Will
Mm-hmm.
tend to gather with the similar culture or similar looks. I'm not sure. Um, it happens. So it's comfortable and stable for them to be together.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no barrier. Though there, whatever they're from, friends can be friends, but the tendency is closer culture, closer origination, make them comfortable.
Right.
Mm. And yeah, yeah, if we have similar culture or similar protocol from the education, will be much easier, I guess. So sometimes people say gathering Japanese is not good because this is international circumstances. If that is international conference or international meeting, yes.
Mhm.
But in a life, being comfortable is also an important factor.
Right. Right. I see. Okay, so and then I have a question. I know the answer to it, but of course, I'm trying to imagine what people who watch us will be curious about. And the question is, why did you decide to move to the United States and pursue a career there?
Uh-huh. Yes. Um, that's a hard question.
Sorry for this.
uh, to be honest, I wanted to decide where to live when we come back to Japan or when we move to the third country in the future. I wanted to decide by myself. So there's a visa issue, right?
Hmm.
But since I was born in US, if I choose US, I can stay as long as I want. So that's the first factor. And I also wanted to know more about American organization. So when I was in Accenture, um, it was very interesting how they build the corporate culture or corporate system, enterprise system. But um, I I understand certain point, but I believe living in US or understanding more about American culture may need it. It is just my curiosity
Right. Okay.
or private field work kind of thing.
Hmm. I
So
see.
curiosity killed the cat.
Well, cats have nine lives, so well, I think that well, it might happen, but with the nine lives, the cat always comes back. So, and then you have been in the United States already 1.5 years, and you have been working there with American teams, with Japanese teams as well. But here in Japan, you worked for the Japanese branch of Accenture, right? Which means
Yeah.
that your colleagues, they were Japanese predominantly. So,
Mhm.
is there anything you miss from your work with your Japanese colleagues now that you're in the United States?
Uh, yeah. My junior colleague was really smart, so
All right.
uh, I could, yeah. So creating a PowerPoint is main part of my work in consulting
Hmm.
firm. And what's the message? What's the discussion point? How we can show them easier and make them decide their option, how we can propose the option, that kind of thing was the
Hmm.
discussion point. So I could discuss with them, and I got a lot of inspiration from them. But in the US, that that sort of circumstances may be happening in the US consulting firm, of course. But since I'm working as a relationship manager at the commercial bank, I am the only one
Mm.
who make a decision. Go this client. This client may need this one. I have my manager, so I can discuss, but it's not a teamwork. So just getting supervised.
Hmm.
So yeah, teamwork. I miss the teamwork, but I'm not sure it's Japan US issues or my current work style or role.
Right. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
miss that. Yeah, long hours discussion and share success together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I love about working with Japanese teams because at my previous workplace, we did a lot of that. There was a lot of hard work, there was a lot of, well, overtime work too at that time when there was an important project coming to an end and so on. But then I loved the celebrations and the hanseikais there. Everything was really, really great.
Mm.
And that's when also, I mean, in Japan, I'm talking about Japan, that's when we got to know each other much better, right? Because, I mean, after work hours, the nomikais and the uchiage and everything. So that was really great. And of course, I'm not sure that this happens in the United States because, as much as I know, and I don't know much, of course, but people there are more family oriented, even when they work full time and they don't spend that much time after work with their colleagues. That's
Mhm.
what I hear.
Yeah, yeah. We have kind of celebration or kickoff meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and my previous company had a huge Christmas party. It's almost like end year party in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
but that is a big milestone there. And somehow they create presents, goods with a huge logo somehow
Oh,
in the US. I don't know why, but yes, that is important. And other company, that was my client, believes Halloween decoration is very important for business operations team.
right.
So another type of collaboration and celebration is here in US.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
another thing I miss Japan. I hate it, but I miss Japanese corporate culture is to read the air,
Mm-hmm. Right.
read the air. So I didn't have to explain the detail to work with.
Mm-hmm.
But in US, the role and the job description is very crystal clear. So I can't ask the tasks above their job description. So
Right.
yes, so in US, the corporate system is very well organized. But since it is organized, sometimes the teams between the teams they drop the ball. But in Japan, people read the air, so their role is here, but they read the air and catches the ball if any team missing. So that was good part of Japanese culture, I believe.
Right. 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 Yes. So we talked also about something very specific, a specific difference, and maybe that difference is also one of the reasons why the Japanese teams, they can complement each other, right, and their work. And then sometimes American teams just drop the ball. And we talked about the generalist culture and the
Mhm.
specialist culture, right?
Okay.
Because Japanese companies, this is the trend. It has been the trend for quite a while that Japanese companies hire fresh, well, students fresh
Mhm.
from college, right? Fresh graduates, and they rotate those students every 2 or 3 years to different positions in the company so that the students develop a 360-degree view and understanding of how the company works, what the
Mhm.
processes there are, and communication styles between the divisions, and everything that is related to the company as an organization. And of course, it is possible because Japanese employees that's the traditional style, right? They would stay with the company probably for life or for at least 10 or 15 years. And that's not the case in the United States, is it?
Yeah.
Right? So it's more like in the United States,
Hmm.
people become specialists. They
Yeah.
specialize in certain field, they have deep, profound expertise in the field they specialize in. But
Mm.
then, as you say, sometimes it's really difficult to trans transfer the expertise. And of course, part of the cultural thing is that they do not read the air because the American culture is an explicit culture, right? The
Mhm.
communication styles are explicit, so sometimes there are gaps in the explicitity, right?
Mhm.
But yes, what because I know that now you're trying to make peace between the two different styles, right?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on this?
Yes. So in the US, people leave the company or, yeah, people leave the company so often, and the
Hmm.
background is so different. That's why the corporate is designed, well designed, work for everyone. So, for example, if they have large sales team, oh, we have to share the list of opportunity, what's the lead, and who is working on this client. That sort of thing should be managed in one system. But in Japan, of course, they use Salesforce right now. But yeah, knowledge and the network sometimes it exists in people,
Hmm.
not the system.
Right. Yeah.
They didn't leave the company. Nowadays, it's different, much more Americanized. But the original culture is people join the company, work like forever, and experience different department, building the network, and move to the other department and expand the network. And the knowledge is there, so believing their work forever, the system works that way. So
Hmm.
there's a huge gap in US and Japan. And now Japan is much more like US. They use US system, they hire consultants, and people left the company for the better position. So it's in between.
Yeah, it's in between. And how do you think this is conductive to co-creation? Because I know that this is an idea that you came up with and you have been working on it for a while and you're passionate about it, right?
Right.
Co-creation. And yeah.
So last year, just 1 year ago, I found my passion is around the co-creation
Mm-hmm.
because I could have a very co-creative moment when I was a consultant. And uh, yeah, people will focus on AI DX right now. But after that, what will happen? Human being will have more time to do something new, and people loves innovation. So what should we do next? So then people start saying next era is co-creation era.
Mm-hmm.
So co-creation kyoso is kind of becoming a buzzword in Japan because people realize one company can do less, not much, And if they want to expand their business globally or largely, widely, they need collaboration between companies, among companies. So yeah, co-creation will come. So I joined the um, online course for building a workshop, designing workshop. So I learned how to design a workshop, and I found my business partner there. So he had the same passion around co-creation. So we wanted to become kind of agent who connecting companies or organizations and yeah, inducing sort of innovation or new ideas. So we have the different background, but we believe co-creation is important from next 10 years, 20 years. So let's do something.
Mm-hmm.
So we started discussion. So that was also co-creative moment to me, finding a partner with totally different background, but having the same idea. So we started conversation and we tried to find out why we think co-creation was our passion.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, since it's becoming the buzzword, people will say co-creation is important and let's do co-creation. Company
Right.
A, company B started co-creation and press release. We are started co-creative project, but yeah, you can imagine, right? It may happen.
Yeah, I can. I mean, just want to interject a little bit here because until 2022, I worked only for Japanese companies here in Japan. So it's like 21 years working for Japanese organizations. And for one of them, I worked for 14 years. And there, so basically, it was a semi governmental organization representing the travel industry in Japan. So we had a lot of member companies there. And we worked for the interests of the member companies and the industry as a whole. And then what struck me there back then, imagine I started there in 2008. And from the very first couple of months, what struck me there was that these member companies of the organizations, of the organization, they were competitors in business. And still they worked together. They came together, they worked together on projects that would lift up the whole industry and that would allow them to lobby the government as well because they realized that if they stuck together and they worked together, they had much more power and they had much more, not just when I say lobbying power, but also the power to come up with more ideas, right? And that's why I'm surprised that nowadays, just now, this is becoming a buzzword in Japan, because co-creation, from my perspective, has always been part of the Japanese psyche, the way Japanese people work, because they're much more collectivist, group-oriented, and they work together to create new things, of course, right? And for somebody who comes from the West, it is striking how well Japanese people work together and they create things together. So that's why I'm surprised that in Japan, once again, this is becoming something as of a buzzword. And maybe
Yeah,
the reason for that is because many of the corporations, not all the corporations, I would say many banks and consulting firms, basically they come from the United States, right? And maybe that's why the culture in those companies is different from the Japanese business culture, which was created and evolved after the Second World War, and before that, of course. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but it is still a fascinating topic for me.
yes, yeah. But I saw a lot of buzzword
Mm-hmm.
took in the wrong way. So
Yeah.
DX.
Oh yeah.
So people pay for consultants if they say DX is
Mhm.
necessary. Everybody is doing DX. Why don't you do
Right.
that?
Also, another one is the ESGs, right? So
EFGs and yeah, data-driven management, or yeah,
yes,
there are a lot of buzzword. And as consultant, we try to co- be a nice coach to brush up the idea, not
yeah,
just buzzword, but things work that way. But
yes.
co-creation is not only for that company.
Hmm.
So if they start co-creation in a competitive way, press release and this company co-creation project started, build a joint venture company. But once it started, who is sure about they're on the same page?
Right. Yeah.
And there could be a person in charge of co-creation and another person in charge of co-creation. They are responsible for co-creation, but they don't know what to do.
Right.
Just yeah, that could be happen.
Hmm.
So we thought we need a textbook how to start a co-creation, and don't do it in a competitive way. Understand each other and try to break the wall between the organizations. So that sort of thing. But we, yeah, we had long discussion and what we did when we were a child. We are educated to become competitive. So like Monopoly is the famous game, right?
Right. Yes. Yes.
So we need co-creation version of Monopoly in the world. Then we can understand what co-creation is.
Hmm.
And there are a variety of co-creation style. But if there is a kind of textbook and the same understanding, same passion for the co-creation, that's going to be beneficial. So in that
Right.
way, we started to create a card game. It's easy to understand and can feel it, and modifying our way of thinking system from competitive to co-creative.
Right. And I love that idea of creating the game because people learn the best through play and personal experience, of
Mhm.
course. But in life, we don't get the chance to experience things, well, in real time, right? So often. Sometimes we do, but not that often. So, tell me more about the game then.
Oh yes, this game is uh, look like a trading card game because I wanted to make it exciting.
All right.
So
Yes.
there are a lot of information about the company.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have pastime, you can read and feel the company. And this is imaginary company I think about from scratch. That's
Mm-hmm.
weird. So in the deck, there are five imaginary companies here. And when we play, I will be company A. So for example, there are Aurora Airways is an airline company, and
Mm-hmm.
another company is Binge Stream, which is like Netflix. So Maya, you're Binge Stream, and I'm Aurora Airways, and
Okay.
we have nine card games each, and flip one by one. So
Flip them. Okay. In
yeah,
turns.
yes, one by one.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the type of the asset, we have four colors here.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if
Yes.
my card and Maya's card are different color, we can combine.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is a value for each asset, and
Right.
when we combine, we can multiply this number to different colors cards
Basically, you multiply your assets.
when
That
we combine from
Right.
many companies. And yes, and increasing the value, total
Mhm.
value, is important.
Right. So, are there winners in the game, or it's basically a no zero sum game?
It's just having fun, but yeah, people enjoy to win.
Yes,
So
I'm asking
um,
because I know when I was a child,
yeah, yeah,
didn't play. Yeah, we didn't play Monopoly, but we played other board games and card games, and it was always okay. So now, who is the winner? The winner is the one who has the most,
yeah,
the biggest
yeah,
number of cards, or well, who is number two then, and so on and so on. Sometimes it was the other way around. Of course, the winner was the one with the least, the smallest number of cards, but
yes.
still,
So in that case, um, raising the contribution rate is the competition. So if
right.
I combine more cars and producing more value than Maya,
Hmm.
then I am the winner because I have the higher contribution rate.
But
That
still,
way we
yeah,
can compete, but still co-creative. And
right.
if there are over four people, we can have pairs.
Mhm.
So pair versus pair, and which team will produce the higher value?
Right. But at the same time, everybody
Hopefully,
playing
we'll
the
meet.
game. Oh, I don't think so. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you right now. Wait a
I can
minute.
hear you very well.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Is it my issue? Sorry about that.
All right. Can you
Let
hear me
me
now?
check.
No, maybe not yet.
Um,
Okay, maybe it will take a couple of minutes. Oh no, hopefully not minutes. A few seconds. Let's see how it goes. Can you hear me still? Or maybe
sorry,
not.
I miss your voice.
All right. How about now? Can you hear me now? No, obviously not. Okay, so to everybody who is watching this, you can hear me, I believe. And while Kanako is working on her sound settings, please remember that Kanako and
Sorry,
her.
I lost your voice.
How about now? No, okay. So please remember that Kanako and her business partner they created this card game, which is specifically designed for the players to practice and enjoy co-creation. And if you are interested in, well, playing the game or learning more about it, I invite you to reach out to Kanako. She's on LinkedIn and talk with her. So, her business partner in Japan organizes workshops that teach how to use the cards, how to enjoy the game the best, and of course, how to derive the most of the fun you are going to have when you play. And also, what one thing is that they do not sell the cards yet, the game, but hopefully it will be on sale pretty soon. Let's see now. How
Sorry,
about now? That's
it's
fine.
okay. Sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
not sure what
Yes, thank
happened.
you very much for dealing with the issue and for coming back. Okay, yes. So, and we were talking about, well, how many people can play the game, and that also everybody in the game, regardless of how many, well, assets they have accumulated, everybody is still a winner because the end result is an increase in the overall wealth. Right? Is this how it is?
Yes. So the card itself is one person versus one person with one person. But we can have a big room, and if you have the same card set a lot, we
Mm-hmm.
can start together with the same card, and which pair can increase the value more
Mm-hmm.
could be a very positive
Yes.
co-creative competition for
Well,
joy.
yes. Yeah, I think that there is a saying that what's that? Rising tide lifts all boats. So at the end of the day, if all the companies work together, or all the players, right? In the
Mhm.
case of a card game, if all the players work together, eventually all of them will have better results once or at the end of the game. So yeah, and but my question to you is, when did you come up with the idea of co-creation?
Um,
The card game is
our game itself is during the summer trip last year.
all right.
Started thinking the original idea, multiplication, is during the trip. And after I came home and start using a paper and handwriting and create some.
And okay, what was the thought process? What prompted you, or what stimulated you to think about the game, creating a game?
Yeah, so original idea for the workshop is to share what we have. So as company A, I have this type of asset, and what about company B? And as company B, I have this asset. And combining two or three assets from each organization, what may happen? That kind of ideation process was the original idea as a
Hmm.
workshop. So leveraging that idea, so we're not thinking bright new idea with nothing. We have something, so let's start from there. Otherwise, ideation and a bright idea seems great, but never happened in the future. So sharing what we have is the starting point. So when we think about building a card game, so asset is the card, and combine it, and if they are smart enough, think about the business idea with two cards. Yes. So I randomly think about the rules again and again during my trip. And I was really tired and laying on the hotel bed. And addition and multiplication is quite simple. Everyone can understand. So it can be random. Why is it multiplication? There is no answer just for the game.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So, and it is still a card game, right?
Mhm.
So, and I understand that it is not on sale yet.
Not on sale, but
Right.
let me know if you want to try a deck. So
Right.
connect to me
Yes.
on LinkedIn and send me the message, please.
Right. Yes, to everybody, and also everybody who is interested in having a deck and learning how to play the game with their team at work, maybe, or within the family, then please remember that you also need to take a lesson. of how to play the game,
Yeah.
right? Because yes, it's important. I think that you and your business partner are also concerned about the right implementation of the idea,
Hmm.
right? Because sometimes it could be misunderstood, it could be used in not very good ways.
Hmm. Hmm. So I'm thinking an online workshop from this winter to understand more about co-creation. And there could be a lot of style of co-creation. So I'm not giving you this is co-creation. You have to learn. This is a study, not this way. So we'll have discussion. What kind of co-creative experience did you have in the past, and what kind of co-creation style could be made for this idea, and using the card game, what the company this is. So what is their passion and how we can communicate with other company using the card game and doing the card game, just using the number and play randomly. And then we can share and think about the idea deeply and understand each other. So that's the very beginning phase of the co-creation. We can do it together.
Right. No, I love that because it also means that everybody who joins the workshop will be able to meet other people who have similar thoughts and they want to work in this direction, which is, well, a base for moving forward, right? And creating a community where co creation is the basic value, which
Mhm.
is wonderful. Yeah. Great. So you're thinking about starting the workshop this winter, which is
Yes.
coming quite
Yeah.
fast, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm preparing right now.
Great. Do you have a date? Well, maybe tentative date for the first workshop, or maybe a month when you're planning to start the workshop?
I'm flying back to Japan mid-November.
Mm-hmm.
So before or after, yeah, it should be started, and that is a good opportunity to see each other face to face.
Yeah.
So yeah, before that, May, hopefully beginning of November, the course
Mm-hmm.
started, and it's about 12 weeks. So we can use Christmas season, I mean, お正月 season to reflect yourself
Right.
and start a new year, co-creative year next year.
Right. The co-creative year.
Yeah.
Well, great. So we are just 2.5 minutes before the time when we say goodbye, and of course we say thank you to everybody who watched or will watch. So thank you first to you, Kanako, for being on the podcast and for talking about your experiences and the game as well, because I'm sure that more and more people realize the need for us as a society to work together and not allow to be divided, right? So, and I believe that the game you have created is one of the first steps in that direction in business. And of course, so once again, if you are interested in this and believe that co creation will help your business grow and improve as well, please reach out to Kanako. She is
Yes.
on LinkedIn, Kanako Horii on LinkedIn. She will be
Yeah.
very, very happy to connect with you. Talk with her. Do not hesitate to do that. You can
Yeah.
talk to her either in English or in Japanese. So
Yeah.
there is, yes, the language barrier should not be an issue there. And again, thanks a lot to everybody. That was Japan Express. It's the podcast on Wednesday morning, and we had Kanako Horii, a very special guest today. Well, we'll be here once again next week, so stay with us, come back, and enjoy. That's all for today. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.